All right, welcome back. Now, this stream is not getting enough video, not receiving enough video, so you might get some buffering. On this video, I want to come back to an argument, well, not an argument, a prediction that I made a couple years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, of a potential UFC signage. A bantamweight who has a good chance of being signed by UFC, Melissa Croden, who currently fights out of LFA. And I believe this is the video right here of her most recent fight. And I'm making this video and talking about her because I think right now the pattern is she could be signed right now. Because a lot of fighters in her position receive a contract. What is her position? Now, she's not the champion. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about her, having a decent record. Bantamweight, remember, needs all the help it can get. Undefeated as an amateur. Won all those fights by stoppage. Okay, back in 2016, 2018, 2019. She starts fighting for Z Promotions. Sounds like a real low-level organization, local organization somewhere. And 2 stoppages. She's a stoppage threat. Of course, that always gets the UFC's attention. Lost a split decision in Titan FC. This is a little come up or step up from in competition. Going from Z Promotions to Titan FC 67 or Titan FC. Went from there to Palace Athena, which is where I first saw her fight. And she won those fights by stoppage too. And it was at this point, after she beat Cornelia Home, that I made my video or a prediction. I'm like, okay, look, bantamweight is in horrible condition right now. This is a standout bantamweight. Look forward to her getting signed. And instead, what happened? She lost to Cavalcante in a title fight. Remember, she won the bantamweight title in this fight. And in her next fight, she in her debut LFA bout, she got a title shot in her LFA debut. Lost the decision to Cavalcante. Cavalcante, I see why she lost. And what they do? They immediately signed Cavalcante instead. So I feel like UFC was looking at her anyways. They had their eye on her anyways. Talking about Melissa Croden. They had their eye on her. And when she lost to Cavalcante, okay, let's sign the chick who beat her instead. Because I feel like they would have signed Croden had she beat Cavalcante. Remember, Cavalcante was the LFA champion. And they had already had a lot of respect for Cavalcante at the time, in April 2023. So she lost to Cavalcante. And I think most people can give her a pass for that, but she'll probably never beat Cavalcante. But I think Cavalcante is an elite level striker. There's a good chance she can outstrike anybody at 135. That's like, what, my 3rd, 4th time saying that. I'm talking about Cavalcante. There's a good chance she can outstrike Nunes. We know that. Let's not play dumb. Above average striking with the women when you see it. She's a good striker. She holds on to her shots too much. But when she actually fights, she's really, really next level. Talking about Cavalcante. And I'm telling people, so is Croden. You know, she's a cerebral striker. I'm talking about Croden, who is a stoppage threat. Stoppage threat. She gets more stoppages than Cavalcante. She's never won a fight by decision. That's a significant fact. Okay? 6 wins as a pro against 2 losses. 5 wins as an amateur. You won, so what is that total? 11 wins total. 11 victories total. You won all by stoppage? That's what the UFC gonna look at. I'm telling you now, that is what they've always looked at when it comes to the women. Who's getting stoppages? We'll give them a contract preemptively. So again, a bantamweight who is a stoppage addict. She don't know how to win by decision. I mean, she probably do, and she does. But I'm telling you, if she wins by decision, her opponent's usually in real bad shape. She can really pour it on her opponents. Right? How much time I got? I got to keep an eye on my clock. I want to keep this down to about 15. Okay, we're 10 minutes in. So we got about, I'll do, let's say 20 minutes. We'll do a 20-minute stream. Give me about 9 more minutes. This is another big bantamweight. Giant bantamweight. Fit. Let me put it like that. Fit. Y'all know for a long time I've said a lot of these bantamweights are just chubby flyweights, chubby strawweights. You want to fight at 135, you don't want to take off no weight, fine. But now you jiggly and bouncy at 135. You're not athletic. You're not, dynamic. It takes away from your athleticism. So it makes for bantamweight fights that are on average clumsy looking, right? Oh, you jiggling and bouncing around everywhere. Your form's not good. You fall out of position, all this goofy stuff. Because you're not in athletic condition, and MMA requires that you be in top athletic condition, in my opinion. Croden is in top athletic condition. All right? Weighing in at 135, and, well, look at her on fight night. We'll just go with that. On fight night. Compare her to her opponent, for example. Look at her opponent. She need to be at 125, her opponent, or 115. What kind of shape she is. She's one of those bantamweights that I'm talking about. Croden is lean at 135. Real good fight IQ. And another thing, I want y'all to take a good look at Melissa Croden. Wait a minute, this was her most recent fight. She won in the 2nd round. That right hand hurt. That uppercut hurt. Of course, those did. And this is the beginning of the 2nd round. So, and the fight ends by TKO there. I pointed out a few times her form, right? I think in that video I pointed, and look how big she is. Like I said. You saw the video I made about Cavalcante, how big she is. Croden looked bigger. She looked taller and just as lean. See her abs popping out here. At 135. Okay? So she's a giant too. She's a giant. Those bantamweights who are in shape, they're usually real tall. Usually real tall. In the 5'11s and stuff like that. But anyway, take a good look at this chick. One of the most mysterious fighters I ever covered since I've been covering MMA, WMMA. Does anybody know how old this chick is? Her age can't be found anywhere. Y'all remember, there was another fighter like that. Who was that? Where you couldn't find how old they were anywhere. I'm telling, here's her Sherdog, age non-applicable. Go look for yourself. Go to Tapology. There's no age available. Look at this. Age and date of birth, non-applicable. Huh? So that make it go to the ESPN. I don't know. Is this girl a hit woman? She's some type of government official? Look at this. Stats. No information available. Biography. No age. No age nowhere. So that kind of hurts my ability to predict how far she'll get. Because if she's like 20 years old, there's a much higher chance that you're going to see her in the UFC eventually. But if she's 35, 30, you know what I'm saying? 30 years old, she don't have much time left. It's crazy. So you gotta.
My name's Melissa Croden.
You gotta sort of guess how old she is. And she's from Canada. Now, we had a lot of good fighters come out of Canada. Sarah Kaufman, number of good fighters come out of Canada. And a number of fighters know who Melissa Croden is. Again, you know, if you fight in the LFA, you're going to be seen by a lot of UFC fighters. And remember her record. You can kind of give her a pass for losing to Cavalcante. She lost Cavalcante, and then in the LFA, which is seen as a step up in competition, she's on a 2-fight win streak. Once again, both by stoppage. She don't know how to win by decision. Oh, most definitely, this is the type of fighter UFC offers contracts to. She don't even have to win the title. Because a lot of times, whoever the sitting champion is, do not have a stoppage streak like that. Do not have a 100% stoppage streak. She is just like Natalia Silva. Not Silva. Natalia, what's her name? The other Silva. Not Natalia, the other Silva. I forgot her name. But look out for, or in the UFC, look out for Melissa Croden. And remember, it's also common for them to sign the opponent of a fighter that they signed, who is the only opponent that the unsigned fighter lost to. That's the case you have here. Croden, after this decision loss to Cavalcante, went on to win 2 in a row, both by stoppage. Don't be surprised, and even if in the LFA, if Mick Maynard, Dana White gives Croden a call, you think she's not going to accept? She certainly is going to accept that contract. The UFC is exactly where all fighters are trying to be. The highest pay, the highest spotlight. And I'm saying that too because currently you just keep an eye on her following. She don't even have 3,000 followers yet. She's in the dark right now for whatever reason, because she's not in the UFC. She's getting these types of stoppages in the UFC. A whole lot more people would know about her. So we'll see what happens. And I'll leave it there.